Hello everybody, we're back with more Hand of Fate. Yes, that's right. I don't know whether it was releases, or new updates, or just me breaking my equipment with Chroma Squad, but over the weekend I did some testing and managed to record almost an hour's worth of footage without the computer completely crashing. I don't know what it was, I'm not going to complain about it. But we're back with Hand of Fate 2. In the previous episode, we sorta played the Justice card, but with some, serious problems because of said crashing. And in this episode, we're going to be taking on the Hanged Man. The North is invading the Empire, and the Imperial Army is nowhere to be seen. Keep ahead of the Northern Horde as it sweeps towards the capital, evacuating as many villages as you can. Now, I actually did do this before going on hiatus, but unfortunately, it crashed. I don't know what to tell you. And I did manage to get a token from a special Imperial Fort card that only appears here. Let's see. It was a helmet called the Gambler's Hood. You get it by inspecting the fort and passing a gambling, a card. No, not card. A dice gambit. Now for this one, I recommend Kolbjorn because there's one dice rolling gambit on one of the villages that you need to pass. For encounters, I always recommend anything that can get you food. Huh. Oh, they changed up Pauper Plague. No longer do you get food. Well, shit. Let's see. It requires spending gold. Northerner Ambush, but I know what that's like. Let's take Waterfall of Youth. That's always a good one to have. Let's see. Carriage of the Departed and Illicit Trade are things I need. I actually did try recording this earlier, but I ended up dying because I couldn't get any food. Let's see. I could gain food from this, but it's based on a dice roll, so I'll take the Wetlands Ambush. Let's see. As for that, equipment. I highly recommend anything that can give you bonuses in gambits. Bullseye, Imperial Armor, Grifter's Companion. I also recommend any weapons that can give you bonuses against Northerners, because you're going to be fighting them. But outside of that, for supplies, Fate's Path, food. Believe me, I learned that one the hard way. And for your last one, I'd say pick anything of your choosing. I'm going with a little extra gold. Be careful, though, because you might not always get a trader showing up in camp. That's what led to my downfall, because I had plenty of gold, but no way to spend it. So, with that, let's get started.
On one side, we have the Empire. On the other, the northern raids have become ever more aggressive. In the middle are those who are truly hurt by all of this.
The Northerners! They're coming! A bloody man exclaims as he bursts into the tavern. Let's discuss the situation further. A huge army, with fire and swords coming to take us all, he shudders and falls to the ground. Somebody must warn the villages in this region, or they'll all fall like mine. Yes, we have 4 Northerner tokens that are moving ahead. How they move ahead is different. Maybe they all move ahead at once. Maybe only one of them. Maybe 2. Who knows? Certainly not I. I know of several local villages, but there are many more that I have never visited. Yeah, on the first map, they will tell you where the villages are. Don't get used to that. So, first off, let me swap... Not my adventurer's garb, swap my villager's axe to a neglected sword. Now, in each of the village, you have to deal with a different gambit. You see a peaceful village off the main trail. Now, you can keep moving, and the Northerner counters will not move forward. Might not be a bad idea to do that depending on the situation, but for this one, let's just visit the village. There's a festival being held in the village. The morale of the people is high as they sing and dance and compete in games. You can tell tales of your adventure, but because we have no fame, it's not going to get us anything. We can compete in an axe throwing contest, which I think gets us fame. Not sure what else. But what we're really here to do is warn the townsfolk of the rampaging northerners. You enter a small tavern and address the patrons, giving a vivid description of the fate they will face at the hands of the approaching northerner warriors. As the farmers turn to each other in panic, a huge brawny man walks up to you. "I am Asgal, and I run this town," he says. "We haven't seen any northerners around these parts for months. I say you're a liar, and we're not about to abandon our homes on your say-so." Some of the farmers look unsure, but none speak up to contradict Asgal. Now, what we do here determines which of the gambits we get. There are 3 types of villages. One of them, this one, has 2 different gambits. If we order a drink, we then have to deal with a wheel-spinning minigame that we have to complete, I believe, 3 or 4 times successfully in a row without failing in order to complete and save this village. Now, had I Felvin's Favor or a Grifter's Companion, I'd take it on. I don't, so I'm going to instead attack Asgal, which will lead us to a precision minigame. "Put that troll slicer away, mercenary," Asgal says, waving your weapon away. "If you want to challenge my word, then we have a more civilized method." Asgal leads you and the other townsfolk outside to a tree with a wooden target nailed to it. He hands you a small axe. "If your aim is true, then you speak the truth," Asgal explains before throwing his own axe. It hits the target, just missing the red-painted center. Want to be quick on this one. Really quick.
You have done well.
Your axe hits the target solidly. Not bad. Very well then, stranger. I shall consider your words carefully. Asgal turns and calls to some men over, telling them to scout the north immediately. He directs the rest of the townsfolk to prepare to travel. Well, if they're going north, all they're going to find is another village. If they really want to find the northerners, which I don't blame them for not wanting to find the northerners, they'd want to go east. Empire Fort. You know, in the abandoned recording, I didn't inspect this. Who knows? Maybe I can actually find some supplies. At your approach, a large band of soldiers exits the fort and heads in your direction. Surprisingly, however, they pay you no attention other than to shove you out of the way of their supply wagon. The captain is in no mood to talk as he hurries his men south, towards the capital, away from the northerner mountains. The fort stands completely silent, its heavy wooden doors left open. Alright, let's inspect. Who knows? Maybe we'll find some good supplies. Yeah, I'll accept the dice. Just barely. The entire fort is deserted, but you managed to scrounge some supplies. Oh, yes. Let's visit the village. And of course, as soon as Kolbjorn's out of commission, we need him. The town is quiet as you walk the paths, with mothers hushing their children and dragging them inside. A pair of watchful farmers stop talking as you approach and give brief greeting. "We don't have many strangers visit our village," one of the pair says plainly, "but you may speak with our elder if you wish." You are led to a small hut on the outskirts of the village. Inside, a disheveled old man with a single wild eye sits cross-legged on the floor, humming a strange tune to himself. "Hey buddy, you might want to pack up the village and get the F out of here. The northerners are coming." The mystic peers at you with a single wild eye as you tell of the terror about to overrun them. "The gods will show us their will," the old man yells, leaping up and pointing at a bird in a nearby tree. "If the raven flies north or south, then the village should flee. East or west, and we must remain." With a wild cry, the old man throws a stone at the bird. Now, I'm not sure if this has been patched out or if this is really a thing, but sometimes when you fail this, the bird will actually fly at the old man and start pecking at him, which will lead to a success. Oh, come on, I just need a 3. Actually, I needed a 4. The raven suddenly dives down at the old mystic. "Doom! Doom is upon us!" he exclaims, waving his hands above his head. "We must flee!" That's the thing I was talking about. The farmers run to gather their families and belongings as the mystic runs off, the raven in close pursuit. So yeah, sometimes you can get lucky even in a failure. Now, here's the thing. You can't just attack these guys and then they'll disappear for good. If you defeat the counter, they'll just respawn over here. I remember a time I actually did manage to destroy a counter, though, by attacking them at their camp, but I'm not sure if that's still a thing. You can find supplies, but it'll be a difficult fight. Reluctant allies. In the woodlands far from civilization, you are ambushed by a band of elvish warriors. For what purpose do you dare to trespass within our kingdom? One demands, as a dozen arrows point at you from all directions. You warn the elf of the advancing northerner army and suggest they flee to safety. Ah, human. We already know of your rampaging kin, and there is no safer ground than our own home. Have no fear. The men you call northerners know better than to enter our forest. To do so would be their doom, the elf remarks matter-of-factly. If you have no other business, then it is time for you to leave. Don't bother requesting food or gold, they won't give it to you, at least I've never seen them give it to me. Instead, plead for help against the northerners. You get a spinning wheel. I seem to recall it being a shuffle, but hey. If you fail, nothing bad happens. At least nothing has happened to me before. We have no interest in the wars of men.
This. Clearly you lack what it takes.
Shut it. We have no interest in the wars of men, the elf replies as the band vanishes into the forest. If you do succeed, they say they'll help you, but I'm not entirely sure how. It's not really visible. I'm assuming they delay the northerners by preventing them from moving for a turn, but I really don't know. After a few hours' travel, you emerge from the other side of the forest, having seen no further sign of the elves or their kingdom. Now, the exit to the map will always be at the far left side. Ooh! Visit the Gold Mountain. You join one of the long queues of goblins waiting patiently for their gold. A dusty goblin wearing a pointy hat peers down at you from a tall bureau. His wrinkled hand clutches a quill over a scroll of paper so long that it cascades off his counter and onto the ground. Name? The ancient goblin slowly scratches your name into the parchment before scooping up some of the gold into your waiting haversack with a long, giant spoon. It's a ton of gold. Maybe we'll actually get a trader. Now, you can visit again, but you're not going to get anything out of it. Explore Goblin Town. If we get a success, we get some food. Though I wouldn't count on it. Never mind. There was supposed to be some... suddenly urgent... No, there was supposed to be some text. Something about somebody giving you something. Suddenly urgent horns blare an alarm throughout the city, reverberating off the cavern walls. Goblins and hooded folk alike drop what they're doing and to rush toward exit tunnels or jump into portals, popping up here and there. The ground rumbles underfoot as a choking black gas begins to seep into the cavern. A panicking rat beast barrels down the street, knocking you into a goblin portal. Dealer moves you to a random encounter card. Let's just avoid them. You disappear into the forest. Yeah, you don't have to deal with them. Like, at all. You can try to fight them, but I'd only really do it if they're attacking a village. Which, by the way, is another way to save a village. Wait for the northerners to show up. Then they will... Well, wait for the northerners' counter to get to the village. Fight them. It will save the village, but make sure you move on to the village card. And don't just walk away. Only then will it be officially saved. And you can get some resources for it. But, this is a big but, I would not recommend doing that as your sole means of saving the village. Reason being is that, well, the hordes are going to get more and more difficult as you fight them. And before we move on, let's see if we've got someone to trade with. Or reject your offer of a safe camp. Great. It's going to be a repeat of last time, isn't it? You make your way out of the northern hills and onto the majestic plains. You travel long into the night and set out again with the dawn to keep ahead of the approaching army. Ooh, this is not a good setup. chances are one of the villages is going to be around here. But if not, then we're going to have some serious problems. Yes, an Empire fort. Inspect. Come on. Come on. Fine. Let's see, find some supplies. Reveal 3 encounters. Okay. Ooh, a general store, and there's a peaceful village down there. Question is, will I make it in time? To the general store, I mean. I can make it to the peaceful village if I survive this. Esmeralda's weapon carriage is parked down an alleyway in the shadiest part of town. You rap on the carriage door and ask to see her wares. She kicks a panel under her seat and a secret compartment opens, unveiling the stock she has on offer. Let's see, we've got Grifter's Companion, Nazgar's Reckoning, not bad. Honestly, I don't really feel like I need Grifter's Companion anymore. Don't really need Bullseye. Gambler's Jewel might be good, but I think I'll take the Imperial Armor, which I don't have the fame for. Shoot. You know what? In that case, I'm going to take the Gambler's Jewel. How about we make a deal, she says. The bells on her robe tinkle as she leads you to the door, pressing the equipment into your arms. In a few moments, soldiers are going to storm through and raid my respectable establishment. You take this for free, and I run. Shouts echo up the alleyway, spooking the carriage horses. Okay, this isn't as bad. This was actually the card that killed me in my scrapped recording. Primarily because... Phalanx. They are the card that I hate the most. Oh, thank you. Esmeralda pushes you out of her carriage and into the alleyway. You find yourself completely surrounded by Empire guards. Now, this is actually a good card if you want to farm steal cards for whatever reason. Because, you know, you're guaranteed to fight a bunch of Empire soldiers. Now, unfortunately, we don't have Kolbjorn with us for this, so... Not gonna have somebody to take the... I actually remember back in Old Hand of Fate that you could actually trick the King of Dust into killing his own subordinates by just being around him when he called down his cannon shot, which is not too dissimilar to the General's arrow volley. Unfortunately, well, friendly fire is no longer a thing. Now, one thing to know, you are not completely invincible when doing a finisher. You are only invincible while activating the... or while doing the animation for it, not while you are running up to perform the finisher. So, plan your finishers very carefully. Yeah, General can be a pain in the ass of those unblockable attacks. No worries, this time I actually have more than enough food to help me out. Now, if you can get him stuck in the hole drawing his pistol attack, then they're not too difficult. But anyways, yeah, what I mean by you're only invincible while doing the animation for a finisher is that as soon as your weapon makes contact with the enemy, you're invincible. Outside of that, though, well, you're on your own. Esmeralda whips her horse and carriage into motion. She waves at you as she escapes. Tell Malcalypse I said hello. You scavenge what you can from the dead. Okay.
A reward well earned.
Now, who wants to bet that there's no peaceful village there and I'm just wasting my time? Problem is, I just can't take the chances. Let's see, I do this one, these guys move. I do this one, these guys move. Okay, I can get to that peaceful village. Hopefully there isn't a third one hiding under this card. But if there is, well, they're SOL. Fight the Marauders. You have no choice. Yeah, thankfully no berserkers on this. One thing I should note is that the Frost card's unblockable attack has changed. It's no longer a heavy overhanded swing. It is now a double swing from a double horizontal swing. So be very careful. Do not get greedy when attacking them. And as always, take out the shaman first because she can heal. Now, having Kolbjorn here would make this much easier, simply because in his platinum state he does more damage against northerners. Trappers by themselves are not a threat, but combined with others and poor timing, and they are a force to be reckoned with. Yeah, see, that's the attack I'm talking about. Second you see them swinging, you just get out of the way. Don't even try to get an extra hit. Or if you have it available, use your special, because you are invincible when swinging. Perhaps by your actions here you have saved the lives of innocent Empire citizens. But yeah, like I was saying, it will just respawn. Townsfolk run out to greet you cheering. They provide what they can as gratitude for saving their village from the terrible northern peril. Ah, food. Just what I need. The people disperse to gather what they can before abandoning the village. Oh, by the way, they didn't move? Interesting. By the way, in order to get the golden token for this, you need to save all 10 villages. This village's lost thing, that's not how many you can lose before you lose the golden token. That's how many you can lose before you fail the challenge. One drunken night, you feel cold stone against your cheek. Head pounding, you open your bleary eyes. The unmistakable scrape of metal wakes you fully from your slumber, and you slowly take stock of your surroundings. Good means of getting some extra gold and food. That is, if I had anywhere to spend the gold. Now let's see how we want to go about this. Let's see, I'd say up, right, and around. We'll have to do some backtracking for it, but hey. By the way, I don't know if I've actually mentioned it, but this little statue here is actually a nice little reference to the Demon Trader from Hand of Fate 1. He's basically a guy who would take your blessings in exchange for items. Ah, damn it. I was hoping I could get in behind it. Alright, extra food, always nice. Oh, barely evaded that one. Believe, yep, some gold over here. See, the rest of it is just gold, but if I'm lucky, I should be able to spend it. Let's see, chest of food. Did I get that one already? Not sure if I did. Pretty sure I did. Yeah, I did. So I just wasted some health there. Oh. That was not a good combination of traps for me. You follow the stairs upward until you emerge in a forest, the morning sun burning your eyes. You fumble in your haversack for something to eat. Happily, you find a half-eaten pasty and try to find your way out of the woods. Unfortunately, I'm definitely not making that general store. And still nobody to trade with. Let's see. Festival. Okay. Same as it was before. Attack Morgan. Village has been saved, blah blah blah. Much as I don't want to fight them, I can't take the chance that there's a peaceful village underneath. Let's eat a little bit of food. Get our health up. Alright, let's break camp, then we'll go after these guys. Yeah, each and every time you fight them, and every time you go to a new area, the fights will get more difficult. Holy shit, look at all of them. Oh, got out of that just in time. Ah, come on, stop hitting these guys, go after the shaman. Gotta take her out. Always, always, always take out the healer first. Especially if there's more than one. Surprisingly, she hasn't tried teleporting away. Not sure why. I mean, I wasn't going to complain that she teleported away. No, 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 no. Oh. Ah. Reed is killing me. Literally. You gotta love how they tend to be kind enough to stop stop attacking when they see that you're doing a special. It's like, oh, you're doing a special? Oh, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt that. Okay, you're done? Alright, let's get back to fighting. It's just a funny little thing about the game. Oh, I'm gonna get myself killed with this. I'm just not used to the Northerners having that attack. First I thought it was just the Berserkers who had it, you know, to set them apart from the Scrubs, who are consequently kicking my ass. But no, they all have it. Now, we have reached our time limit. At least if my timer is anything to go off of. But I'm going to keep going until we beat this level of the challenge. And then I'm going to end it off there. You know what? I'm not going to complain about this. This is actually very good, if we can get a success. Here? Well, we at least get some food. I would have liked to have get the Potion of Youth, because that would have allowed us to draw a health gain card. But, you know, food's just as good. As a matter of fact, I'm going to eat some food. Just to get a bit of health back. And still no one to trade with. Advance into the woodland. Well, that was one hell of a way to start off the return of Hand of Fate 2. Wouldn't you agree? If you guys like what you see, please leave a like, subscribe for future content, and I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching!